Have you ever wondered why comfort, though pleasant, often leaves us weaker? Imagine iron left unused. It rusts, it loses its edge. In the same way, our spirit softens when we avoid challenge. Life today makes everything easier, yet deep inside, we feel restless, fragile, unprepared for real storms. What if the path to strength is not in avoiding discomfort, but in embracing it? The Stoics believe that true resilience is forged in friction, and in that friction, we discover the fortress within ourselves. Picture this. You wake up, already exhausted by the weight of unfinished tasks. Notifications flood your phone, deadlines chase you, and yet you delay. Small excuses pile up. I'll do it later. I need perfect conditions. Soon, the day slips away, and with it, your confidence. You are not alone. Millions wrestle with this cycle daily. It feels as though life controls you rather than the other way around. The Stoics understood this centuries ago. They saw that excuses and avoidance were the true enemies of human strength. Yet the Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, offered a way forward. They taught that strength is not inherited, it is built. They trained their minds daily, practicing discipline, courage, and self-control. They reminded themselves that life is short and precious, that wasting it on excuses is the greatest loss. Stoicism is not about suppressing emotion or living coldly. It is about mastering yourself so you can face reality with clarity, steadiness, and dignity. It is a philosophy of action designed for ordinary people like us. In this video, we will explore 7 timeless Stoic principles that can transform how you see your struggles. Each principle is a weapon against chaos. From cutting excuses to embracing discomfort, from mastering desire to respecting time. These lessons are not abstract. They are practical tools you can use today. By the end, you will walk away not only with knowledge, but with a roadmap to resilience. This is more than philosophy. It is a way to build a mind and spirit that no storm can break. Principle 1. Stop making excuses. Excuses are subtle thieves. They disguise themselves as logic. I'm too tired. It's not the right time. I'll start tomorrow. But every excuse weakens the link between who you say you are and what you actually do. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily that he was not born for leisure, but for effort, thought, and action. To a Stoic, excuses are not harmless. They are self-betrayal. To stop making excuses is to reclaim your power, to live as if every moment matters, because it truly does. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. These words of Marcus Aurelius cut through excuses like a blade. They remind us that action, not intention, not plans, not promises, is what defines character. Seneca also warned that delays and rationalizations were silent killers of progress. A Stoic lives by clarity. If something must be done, it must be done now. To justify an action is to walk away from virtue itself. Imagine a soldier delaying to put on his armor, telling himself he'll do it when the enemy gets closer. By the time he acts, it's too late. Excuses work the same way. They delay preparation until opportunity is lost. History shows us countless examples. Leaders undone by hesitation, talents wasted by procrastination. The Stoic trains daily not to wait for ideal conditions, but to act with what is available now. To delay is to weaken. To act is to strengthen. Today, excuses often sound polite and reasonable. I'll try, maybe later, I don't feel ready. But these words rob us of growth. The Stoic approach is simple. Name the excuse, strip it of disguise, and move forward anyway. Replace hesitation with clarity. Turn I'll try into I will. Each small act of follow-through rewires the mind to trust itself. Over time, you become someone who doesn't need external pressure. You act because principle demands it. That is true freedom. Principle 2. Embrace discomfort. Comfort is seductive. It whispers promises of ease, yet quietly drains our strength. The Stoics saw comfort as a slow poison, dulling the mind and softening the spirit. Marcus Aurelius warned that luxury weakens the soul, while Seneca advised practicing poverty to remove fear. To embrace discomfort is to train for life's inevitable storms before they arrive. Every act of voluntary hardship, rising early, walking instead of driving, eating simply, becomes a rehearsal for resilience. Discomfort is not the enemy, it is the forge of strength. Seneca once wrote, "Set aside a certain number of days, during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself all the while, 'Is this the condition I feared?'" In this practice, fear dissolves. We learn that what we dread is often survivable, even strengthening. Discomfort becomes familiar, and what once seemed unbearable becomes ordinary. In choosing small hardships, we prepare ourselves for greater trials without panic. Think of the blacksmith. Steel is not made strong in gentle air, but in fire and hammer blows. In the same way, humans are strengthened not in luxury, but in trial. Soldiers train in harsh conditions so that battle does not break them. Athletes embrace sweat, pain, and exhaustion to prepare for victory. The Stoic lives with the same discipline. Small chosen struggles sharpen the will. Without them, even minor obstacles can feel overwhelming. With them, life's storms become manageable. In today's world, discomfort rarely comes uninvited. We design our lives to avoid it. Yet every time we choose the harder path, we strengthen our capacity. Wake up before sunrise. Work in silence without distractions. Take cold showers. Skip luxury for simplicity. These acts recalibrate the mind. The Stoics understood that effort without applause builds confidence. To embrace discomfort is to free yourself from meeting ideal conditions. You carry resilience within, ready for whatever life delivers. Principle 3. Tame your desires. Desire is often the beginning of suffering. The Stoics observe that unchecked cravings enslave the mind. When we chase comfort, pleasure, or validation without limit, we become fragile, our peace tied to things beyond our control. Seneca taught that the person who needs little is richest. To tame desire is not to reject joy, but to master it, to choose freedom over dependence. A calm mind is born when we want less, and in wanting less, we become unshakable. Seneca warned, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." These words remind us that desire is endless. It multiplies with every indulgence. The Stoics practiced voluntary simplicity to break this cycle. They taught that when pleasure is optional, freedom begins. By choosing restraint, we discover that the things we feared losing were never essential. Our true wealth lies not in accumulation, but in self-control. Imagine a man forever chasing the horizon. Each time he reaches it, it shifts further away. Desire works the same. It promises fulfillment, but when attained, it vanishes, leaving a new craving in its place. History is filled with kings who owned empires, yet lived in torment, never satisfied. The Stoic seeks to step off this endless treadmill, choosing instead the stillness of enough. By mastering desire, we walk freely, no longer chained to what we cannot keep. In today's world, desires multiply faster than ever. Advertisements, social media, and endless consumption feed new cravings each day. Without restraint, our minds scatter in pursuit of what feels good rather than what is good. The Stoic practice is simple. Pause when desire arises. Ask, "Do I need this? Or is this habit?" Practice fasting from pleasures. Embrace simplicity, and let contentment be your wealth. By taming desire, we reclaim focus, independence, and inner peace. Principle 4. Master your attention. Attention is the foundation of self-mastery. Where your focus goes, your actions follow. The Stoics knew that a scattered mind leads to a scattered life. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself to stay within the limits of the present task. In today's noisy world, our attention is constantly stolen by distractions, notifications, endless scrolling, digital noise. To master your attention is to reclaim your life. With focus, even chaos becomes ordered. Without it, even simplicity turns into confusion. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not let your mind be distracted by all the things you cannot control. Focus on what lies within your power. This simple reminder is a shield against the chaos of modern life. When we give attention to things outside our control, we surrender peace. The Stoic discipline is to return, again and again, to what is real, useful, and present. Focus is not a talent. It is a daily practice of bringing the mind back to clarity. Picture an archer. If his eye wanders, his arrow misses. Attention works the same. Scattered focus leads to scattered outcomes. The Stoics trained themselves like archers of the mind, steady, deliberate, and precise. In modern terms, think of a surgeon or pilot. Distraction could cost lives. Likewise, in our daily battles, distraction steals meaning. When we aim our attention at what matters, we hit life's target with clarity. Without it, we drift endlessly. Today, mastering attention means guarding your mental environment. Put your phone aside. Limit noise. Dedicate blocks of time for focus. Write, read, create, without interruptions. The Stoics did not fight distraction by force. They returned gently to the task, again and again. Each return is training. Over time, this practice becomes second nature. Your mind becomes a fortress, steady, uncluttered, sharp. In mastering attention, you do not just gain productivity, you gain peace. Principle 5. Respect time. Time is the one resource that can never be regained. The Stoics viewed wasted time as a moral failure. For each lost hour is a piece of life itself. Seneca wrote that people guard their property, yet squander their days as if they were endless. To respect time is to recognize its sacred weight. Every distraction, every careless delay, steals from the life you could live. A Stoic does not simply fill time with activity. They align each moment with purpose. Seneca declared, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." These words are a wake-up call. Life is not too brief. It is often misused. The Stoics urged us to review each day with honesty. Did I live with intention, or did I drift? Respecting time is not about obsession with productivity. It is about living deliberately, making each choice reflect your values, not your impulses. Imagine two men. One spends his life in endless motion, chasing tasks, reacting to noise. The other moves slower but deliberate, every step aligned with principle. At the end, one wonders where his years went, the other leaves behind a life of substance. Time is not measured by speed, but by direction. The Stoic chooses fewer actions with greater meaning, knowing that what is essential deserves attention, while what is trivial deserves to be cut away. In today's world, distractions compete for every second. Social media, endless notifications, meaningless tasks, they drain our most precious resource. To respect time, build boundaries. Protect mornings for focus, use evenings for reflection, and cut away what adds no value. The Stoic does not chase busyness. They pursue clarity. When you live with intention, regret fades, and peace grows. Respecting time is not just wise. It is the highest form of self-respect. Principle 6. Dependency on approval. Approval is a subtle chain. It binds us to the shifting opinions of others. When our self-worth depends on applause, we lose stability. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that praise adds nothing to a thing's value. To a Stoic, an action is either virtuous or it is not, regardless of recognition. True freedom comes when you no longer need permission to live by your principles. Approval may come or not, but your compass remains steady. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Ambition means tying your well-being to what others say or do. Self-indulgence means tying it to the things that happen to you. Sanity means tying it to your own actions." These words strike at the heart of approval seeking. Praise and criticism are passing winds. They cannot change the worth of your deeds. A Stoic ties peace to principle, not popularity. Consider the actor who lives only for applause. The crowd cheers, and he feels alive. The crowd falls silent, and he feels worthless. His life is chained to their voices. But imagine the craftsman who works in silence, perfecting his art even when no one watches. His satisfaction is in the work itself. The Stoic chooses the path of the craftsman. Virtue is its own reward. Stability is built when your actions need no audience. Today, approval seeking is amplified by likes, comments, and followers. Many feel valuable only when noticed online. Yet the Stoic way is timeless. Do not outsource your peace to the crowd. Post less, live more. Work on yourself in silence. Act with principle, and let results speak louder than validation. When you detach from approval, you gain independence. You are no longer swayed by trends. You walk your own path with clarity and dignity. Principle 7. Face responsibility. Responsibility cannot be escaped without cost. Every delay, every avoidance, builds a heavier weight. The Stoics believe that life moves forward whether we act or not, so better to act with clarity than drift in hesitation. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself each morning that time was passing quickly and duty could not be postponed. Facing responsibility is not about punishment. It is about strength, alignment, and trust. To step into responsibility is to step into maturity. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Responsibility begins with this recognition. Focus on what belongs to you. The Stoics taught that taking ownership brings clarity. When you accept what is yours to handle, the fog of confusion lifts. To avoid responsibility is to weaken character. To embrace it is to build an inner fortress. Picture a ship at sea with no captain. Waves push it endlessly, storms scatter its course. This is the life without responsibility. Drifting, reactive, unstable. Now imagine a steady captain, hand firm on the wheel, guiding through storm and calm alike. The Stoic chooses to be the captain of his own vessel. Responsibility is the wheel that directs us. Without it, life is chaos. With it, even storms can be endured with dignity. In daily life, responsibility means keeping your word, finishing tasks, and acting without waiting to be told. It means answering messages you avoid, paying attention to details, and carrying your share with consistency. The Stoic does not wait for ideal conditions. He begins where he is. Each act of accountability is proof of strength. Over time, these habits shape identity. Responsibility becomes not a burden, but a crown, evidence that you are reliable, capable, and strong. We have walked through 7 Stoic principles: rejecting excuses, embracing discomfort, taming desire, mastering attention, respecting time, ending the need for approval, and facing responsibility. Each is a stone in the fortress of your mind. Together, they form a shield against chaos and a compass toward clarity. The Stoics did not promise ease, but they offered strength, a strength born of practice, repetition, and unshakable values. You now hold tools that emperors and sages once used to endure war, betrayal, and uncertainty. Apply them not tomorrow, but today. When excuses whisper, answer with action. When comfort seduces, answer with courage. When distractions surround you, return to focus. Your life is too valuable to be lived passively. Each step you take with Stoic clarity strengthens your inner fortress and proves that resilience is built, not given. Tonight, take one principle and apply it. Write down a single excuse you often use and replace it with a direct action. Or set aside a comfort and face a small chosen discomfort. Each act will prove that philosophy is not theory, but practice. Keep a journal of your victories, however small. Over time, you will see yourself change, not by accident, but by deliberate discipline. This is how Stoicism becomes a living force in your life. Remember, Stoicism is not about appearing strong, but becoming strong. It is about building a life of clarity, consistency, and courage. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are the architect of your response. As you leave this video, carry this truth: strength is a choice made daily. And as always, here at Stoic Miracles, we remind you: fortify your mind, illuminate your spirit, and walk with timeless strength.